Show me the money. That's a wrap on Paradise. Welcome to Play in the Field, your favorite Bachelor podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Field, the sports anchor here at WABC in New York City. Joined now, as always, by our two favorites, Jen Matarese from here at WABC in New York, and our Bachelor insider, Gina Sirico, out there at KABC in sunny Los Angeles. Ladies, welcome. Paradise has wrapped up. What a season it was. We all have so many thoughts. And I guess we'll just start at the beginning as we saw all of this unfold, right with the new couples intros for the finale.
It was cute, right?
Yeah, it was cute. I mean, I didn't mind them kind of pivoting there for the last episode.
Yeah, and I like the classic song and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, we needed that.
Gina, do you agree?
I thought they used the newer song, and I was like, they kind of went all through the season, like switching on and off between the new song and the classic one that we all know. So I was kind of hoping they'd keep it the classic one through the end, but it's
our
all good.
first Gina disagreement of the podcast. We'll see how many we can get to here
It's all good.
over the course of the next
God.
22
Why?
minutes.
Why do you do that?
Why do we do it? It's so
intro.
much fun. Listen, I have few joys as the host of this podcast, and that is one of them, is pitting you two against one another. We love the drama.
Wait a minute. Why do you have few joys in this podcast? This is my question.
Well, listen, that's for the next podcast. We'll get into the answer to that question. In the meantime, we have lots of questions to answer, including the last rose ceremony. Why were Jeremy and Bailey the ones to go home, do you think?
I think they made too many enemies. And I think that Jeremy's attitude with the whole bro code thing, I think, although people stuck up for him, I think it rubbed them the wrong way. I think it was time for them to go.
Yeah, and Jeremy made it seem like he had all these allies in Paradise, and he was trying to get everybody to vote Kat and Dale off. We knew Kathy and Keith were going to self-eliminate, which is what ended up happening. Gina, what was your take on why they were eliminated?
Well, I found it a little ironic that Jeremy went to Kathy and Keith to talk to them about why they should stay, when just a few weeks ago, Jeremy was talking about how annoying the Goldens were. Yeah. So now they're not annoying when you need them.
Right.
But that was like the most interesting part to me. I'm like, interesting.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. I thought the most interesting thing was that Dale was basically like, yo, I'm voting against Bailey. I know you and I have had our issues, whatever. And then they're both like, love you, bro. And then Jeremy's like, I got a real problem with Dale.
Yeah,
it's like, why would you be two-faced in the moment and just be like, yeah, love you, man, and then come off camera and then
that's
say,
how he's played the game.
Yeah, but it's just,
he's been two-faced the whole time.
It's two-faced, and I don't like that crap. Gina, am I wrong? Shouldn't he have just said, why didn't he get in Dale's face right there and deal with it, instead of just acting like everything was cool and then complaining about it to the producers?
Well, that's kind of what he's been doing all season, Jeremy. So he's just kind of going in line with his behaviors all season.
It doesn't make it right, though.
I don't know why he is that way, but no, it doesn't make it right.
Maybe he's trying to avoid confrontation. Yeah, I mean, he did the same thing with Brian.
Well, and there's always a chance maybe he could change his vote, and he doesn't want to say something in case that hasn't happened, maybe. I
don't know. I just felt like that whole thing was a little bit weird. So Jeremy and Bailey go home. We come to find out that they're still together. We'll get into the post-credit scenes later on. The relationship test, the weight of the world test.
Oh, boy.
Which I found to be rather interesting. And frankly, I thought Spencer was going to win it. It seemed like he was holding Jess up by himself the entire 45 minutes. But if you think about it, 45 minutes is not nothing. That is a long time to be tethered to some weights that are hanging. And even though you have your significant other there with you, that is
let's be honest,
that is the weight of the world.
That much weight.
Well, trust me, we figured that much.
I would have not.
Jen would be there with the drink in her hand with the umbrella in it. You're doing great, honey.
Yeah, I do the best I could.
Yeah,
but, I don't think. I mean, some women can lift a lot of weights if they're used to lifting weights. Right. I mean, I can lift a kid.
The weights were like,
You're
what, 30? Right. 30% of their combined weight.
Yeah,
so, again, that's a lot of weight. Yeah. And they, the women were taking breaks, and, the guys would be like, I got this. Go ahead and rest your arm, shake it out. And then Dale and Kat were the first ones to go, which I was
surprised.
I was surprised, but also not disappointed by that.
I know. I wanted them out, and I also thought that I don't know. They were talking a lot of game about how much they
Oh,
worked
yeah.
out and everything going into this. But
Yeah.
Andrew, I kind of wanted Jess and Spencer to win. I'm not gonna lie.
I thought they were going to win.
I did too.
And Gina, I thought maybe Dale's ego was in there too. He was kind of pouty afterwards. Little sore loser mentality after they lost that competition.
Shocking. I'm so shocked. I'm so shocked that he would be, well, although he did say something about how, it was, we learn from our losses. I'm like, he's just a bunch of phrases. He just throws catchphrases out there, trying to make it seem like he knows what he's talking about.
And deaded it.
Deaded it, yeah.
Well, yeah,
wait.
he didn't dead it enough, apparently.
Yeah, right. Is it wrong that throughout this season, watching his antics, I'm like, no wonder things didn't work out with him and Claire Crowley? Was I the only one to think that?
Yeah, I think
No.
there's a lack of maturity probably.
Yeah, there was just something
in
off
some
about
regard.
him.
I mean, I like Dale. I don't dislike him. And I actually found him to be very calm. And I like how he handled himself throughout the episode mostly.
Gina?
I feel like it was interesting. I don't know. We go back quickly to the rose ceremony. He immediately, I think we talked about it. He went in, and gave a hug to Jeremy, and it's like, he did that to Jonathan the last time,
right?
Too, where it's like he shows, no enemies, everybody loves him, and I don't know. That always bothers me a little bit.
The fake love you bros missed me with that. I don't think anybody was saying love you bro to Sean as he came back for the Parliament of Paradise. I love how they labeled Sean the Prime Minister and then Allycia the Prime Sinister. I thought that was very well played on their part in labeling those two. And listen, Allycia was standing by her man. She was all in on the Parliament of Paradise, and they were going right at Kat. And I know you two have a lot of thoughts on this. I thought that Sean was clearly butthurt for what he thought was a great relationship with he and Kat. Maybe not a great relationship, but at least a strong friendship that she kind of poo-pooed, denied to other people in Paradise. And I think he said something to the effect of, if you come at me, you better not miss.
Yeah.
And he came back with a vengeance. And I know in talking to some people, including you, Jen, that they didn't necessarily like that this happened in front of all the people, but America. But the jurors in the Parliament of Paradise had to vote on these couples. So he wanted to make sure everybody was as well informed. Did he handle it with as much tact as he could have? Probably not. But he definitely said what he had to say. The question is, do we believe what he had to say? Because he and Allycia both felt very strongly that they had receipts about Kat communicating with her ex-boyfriend or current boyfriend, whoever she claimed it would be.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they were just so mean about it. I think that's what rubbed people the wrong way on that. He just was like a weasel, like, I got you.
Got you. Yeah.
I just,
that was a good weasel, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, I didn't love it.
That was good. It was good.
Gina, what did you think?
I agree with Jen. So sorry that you're not going to get that. You're not going to get the satisfaction. I agree. I think I know. Sorry, not sorry. I found it interesting. I think it was Dale who called it a terribly run smear campaign, just to bring it back to the whole
Dale had to say
aspect.
That.
Well, no, but I'm just saying, just calling it a smear campaign and having it be a terribly run one, which goes back to the last, when we last saw him, and he was trying to lobby and politic and failed. So maybe politics is not in,
I don't think
Sean's future.
Not in his future.
Read the room, right?
Not so much.
If people aren't into it,
read the room,
and they're starting to be like, okay, that's enough, and he just keeps going, and she keeps going, and they're yelling things, and it was too much, I think. I don't know if they were egged on to do it or if they were just so excited that they had this information that they thought they had.
I think it's that.
Yeah.
I think it's that. I think they were so excited that they had this information, although no one ever saw receipts. They just said they had receipts, so we're just supposed to believe that, I guess. But the other thing I found interesting was he talked about how Kat wasn't, the demise of their friendship. When they played it back, and what he said was, where is it? He asked if they were better friends than other people there, and she kind of questioned. So it's not like she was denying that they were friends. She was, just hesitant to say that they were better friends than anybody else there. So he took it in a whole other, he spun it in a different way. So that to me is like, bro, like, and he did it for a reason. He did it to get attention. He did it to get, FaceTime, and he did it so he could come back and be the villain. Mm-hmm. And, I don't think he had a shot to win as like the strongest couple, because they weren't. And, this was his way of, getting the screen time and getting people talking about him.
Well, Kat didn't deny that she was talking to her ex-boyfriend, because she said, I didn't know what I was going to sign up for when I got here. Like, I didn't know I was going to meet someone. So she didn't deny that she was talking to this person, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah,
and then,
but she didn't. But she denied that they were talking there. Like, she wasn't communicating with him while she was there. She said, was I talking to him before? Yeah. Did I communicate with him here? No. So,
well, she said she didn't have her cell phone, but they said they were talking on laptop, which you can communicate via iPad, whatever it was, that you can communicate in that way. Listen, we'll never know. We do know that their plan worked because Kat and Dale got voted off, right? Did you guys notice in the Parliament of Paradise what everybody was wearing? There was one couple that was dressed very peculiarly that I wanted you guys, if you picked up on it.
No, what?
Jeremy and Bailey were dressed in all black.
Were they
yes,
really?
Yes, they were. Go back and watch. They were dressed in all black in the Parliament of Paradise.
Oh, my
Like they were the Grim Reapers coming back to wreak havoc in Paradise. I thought that was rather interesting, a very interesting subliminal message that they were delivering to the rest of their castmates.
And he didn't hold back when he made his vote.
No, he did not. No, he did not. And, I think at the end of the day, if we all sat here and had to guess who the final two couples were going to be, it was probably it was Andrew and Alex and Spencer and Jess. I think there was no surprise there when it was all said and done. I was very confused how this whole season, at least the second half of the season, we were talking about $500,000.
Yeah.
$500,000. And then you get to the last part of this episode, and then they're like, well, for $250,000. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Where did the other $250,000 go?
Because they were going to split it.
Well, I think it would have been, because they're going to split between the two couples.
It was kind of confusing,
though,
right?
One,
the Parliament could have decided just one, and then it would have been for the 500,000.
Yeah, it was just interesting because the whole half of the season, you're like, the winning couple is going to get $500,000,
and then it's not.
And then all of a sudden, it's like $250,000. I'm like, well, wait, now the prize money's been cut in half. Like, that's the complete opposite of... And I just feel like they didn't do a great job of explaining that. As a viewer, I found that very confusing. Now, all of a sudden, it's $250,000. Wait a minute, I thought we were playing for $500,000.
It's sort of like by design, because I feel like they said up to $500,000 a lot, and I was like, oh, there's some fine print here.
There was some fine print, a little asterisk.
Yeah.
I thought they could have handled that a little bit better.
So, for love or money.
For love or money, right. And this brings me to my next point. And maybe I'm being devil's advocate here, but who's to say that if, Jen, you and I were one of the final two couples, and we don't do like a little wink-wink deal and be like, you and I both take the money.
They don't know, though. They don't know what's going to happen. And if we both choose money, we get nothing.
Was that the stipulation?
Right, Gina?
Or what if you make a wink-wink deal where only one of you takes the money, right?
Mm-hmm. And then we split it after.
And then we split it after.
I thought about that too.
So it's like, how do they, you know what I mean? Like, who's to say? I mean, it didn't work out that way, and maybe I'm wrong for thinking like that. But you know what I mean? Like, you could have been like a wink-wink deal, like you take the money, and then I'll text you when we're done, and then we've got $250,000, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think that was how it was explained. If I'm remembering correctly, Jesse was saying basically, like, if one of you chooses love and the other chooses money, then you get nothing. So it didn't matter whether they were going to choose that or not.
If one chooses money and the other chooses love, the person who chose money gets all the money.
Gets all the money, right.
Yeah.
So that's why I found it, again, to be a little confusing in the fine print, how they handled this. Because, again, who's to say that you wouldn't just do that, right?
Yeah, but they didn't.
They didn't. Thankfully for the betterment of the show.
I was excited that
Gina
they chose love.
Yes, me too. Gina is feverishly checking her notes.
No, I'm positive.
Fact-checking Jen on this, saying that there's no way that this is possible, that's how it ended up happening. But Gina, do you see what I'm saying though? Like, why couldn't they have just done that?
Confusing.
It's very confusing. And I thought this season has been so great, but I thought the end of this last finale kind of felt a little rushed, a little confusing for the viewer, and I thought they could have handled it a little bit better. But overall, we had 2 happy endings.
Yes, but then also the envelopes. That I was
right, yes.
I was like, what is this?
Oh, you still get money. It's like, let's make a deal. What's behind door number 2?
It's so nice to leave with love, but after they talked up money the whole half of the season, I think you have to have some money, right?
Right.
Yeah, you want to see these happy couples get something out of this, right?
And one couple, Andrew and Alex, got $125,000, and Spencer and Jess got $190,000.
Yeah.
And when I first looked at the check, I thought it said $90,000, and I was like, wow, that's still not bad. And I missed the one, and then Jess thought it was $19,000, which I thought was funny. She also didn't know what a $250,000 was. 250, is that a quarter? So accounting is not in her future. Gina, what did you think of the envelope finale?
I mean, good for them. I'm glad that they were able to get a little, like we've been saying, get a little something out of it. I thought it was so cute with Alex and Andrew, where Alex came up to the VIP whatever, and he was just like, "Wait, you didn't choose the money. Why didn't you choose the money?" And she was just like, "What do you mean? Why didn't I choose the money? Of course I'm going to choose love." You know, because he knows, like, everyone, like, especially these last few weeks, have talked about her school debt. And so, you know, the money would be so helpful. And she even said, you know, the money would be so helpful. And so he seemed so genuinely surprised that she chose love instead of money. And I was like, bro, she loves you. It's cute.
I like, too, how she kind of hesitated and she was looking at him from afar and watching him stress.
Yes.
And then she came up kind of laughing like, oh, shoot, sorry about that.
Yeah, I think they're a really cute couple. And I was glad that they did get some money in the end. I think it would have been cool if she could have worked out a deal to get more, you know, if they could have. Because it seems like he would have forgiven her had she chosen the money.
And again, they just would have been talking after the show and she would have had another $125,000. I feel like they misplayed this.
I think they're going to have to change things up.
I think they're going to.
Because now people kind of know how this goes.
And if not, we've given people ideas, future participants
Talk with us.
in Paradise. Yeah. How to cheat the system with Jen and Ryan. And then we get the big engagement, which we have not even discussed yet.
Oh, I love it.
There was a part of me that thought Jess was going to say no.
I was worried.
I was worried too. And Spencer, I guess I had forgotten, and he was reminding us in this episode that he had already been engaged once before.
Yeah.
And I think this goes back to, was this Jen's season that he kind of explained what happened?
Yeah, he cheated on her.
Yeah, right. She cheated on him or something. It was not
good.
He was clearly heartbroken by it. Now he feels like he's found his person in Jess. And really, since day one of Paradise, I kind of feel like they're meant to be. They found each other. They're both kind of quirky. They both kind of have like this Southern charm about them. And frankly,
like really great people.
Yeah, they feel like they're great people, and you love to see good things happen to good people. And even Jesse at the end, I felt like had even more happiness, like in his tone in talking to them. He was almost kind of giddy as he was giving them their farewell hugs.
She seemed nervous.
Yeah,
though,
she
right?
did. She did seem nervous. She did seem nervous.
He came out and was like, was there ever any doubt that this was going to happen? And, you know, maybe there was for some people, but not for him. I mean, you kind of knew. They were just so cute.
I did like how they gave us the post-credit scene and kind of gave updates on where everybody was.
Yeah.
I was surprised to see that Dale and Kat, I know there's been some murmurs on social media about some other things going on with them, but according to the Bachelor people, they're still together and exploring the country.
Yeah, I'm surprised too because I've seen some things to the contrary.
Exactly.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess, you know, there's that big podcast, or I don't think competitor. They're like,
it's the
Bachelor
Warner
Happy
Brothers
Hour.
podcast.
The Warner Brothers podcast,
which is like
is great.
Warner Brothers, for those of you that don't know, Warner Brothers produces The Bachelor, so this is their official
and
podcast.
our Guy Wells, he's going to be giving an update with all these
It's going to
cast
be
members.
kind of like the After the Final Rose
Yeah.
type thing, Paradise version. They're doing it in podcast form.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see what they all have to say.
What they all have to say. Yeah, I mean, it's only been a few months, right, since they wrapped taping this.
Yeah,
so,
not that long.
We ended with 4 happy couples and a great friendship with Keith and Kathy. And if you love happy endings, this is what we got here in Paradise.
I love Keith and Kathy.
Yeah, they were so great.
I do too.
It was kind of funny in that intro that we saw how when they were on the beach, it was just like they were just so platonic.
Oh, absolutely. If there was ever any doubt of what their relationship was or where it stood, we got all of our answers
Yes.
in this episode. And we have, speaking of episodes, new ones come out here in less than 3 weeks. September 24th, The Golden Bachelor.
Yeah.
Mel.
Are you excited?
I'm excited. I can't wait to get Mel on this podcast just so I can watch Jen and Gina devour him, and I don't mean in a good way, over his comments. I'm going to have to prep Mel for what's coming at him because Hurricane Jen and Tropical Storm Gina are coming after my poor
I
boy
have to
Mel.
hope his opinions have changed after meeting all these wonderful women.
Gina,
so.
do you think they've changed?
Well, I hope so.
Well, I know you hope so. I'm asking you if you think they did or not.
I don't know. I hope so. I am actually going to speak to him next week.
Oh.
Ahead of time here.
Can we run some of that interview on our
carpet.
podcast?
It's very possible.
Wow.
If you're nice
now
enough
that's a
to me.
tease.
She says
Then
you have to be
maybe
nice to
I'll
You have
her.
to be nice to her.
We'll see.
I feel like I'm the nicest.
You, Ryan. It's you.
Yeah, okay. My
boy.
behavior
You
will
have to be
dictate
nice.
whether or not we get a Mel
Please
interview
behave.
on the podcast.
Please behave.
If we don't hear from Mel,
Yes.
people, we know what happened. Gina is very upset with me. But yeah, a lot to look forward to here in the coming weeks. And if you like our podcast, what do you need to do?
Follow us and subscribe, like and follow.
Yeah, we appreciate all the comments on YouTube and Facebook
it's been
and all that
fun.
stuff. The feedback has been great. And it's been great having everybody here for this season of Paradise. And we have been renewed, we are happy to say. Season 6 now for Play in the Field.
It's just chugging along.
What do we had? Let's count real quick. So we had Joey, we had Jen,
It really
we had
does.
Grant, we had Joan,
Yeah.
and we had Bachelor in Paradise.
right, you're
and
right.
now we have Mel coming up, season 6 of Play in the Field. We're going to hopefully have this right by time the next season rolls around.
I'll learn to
Jen
count.
thinks we've been on for 25 seasons, and I think that's great. It's only been 6. We've been renewed.
It
6
feels like
coming.
25
It
seasons.
feels like 25. Oh, good stuff. Well, listen, we can't wait for The Golden Bachelor. Less than 3 weeks. Hopefully an interview with Mel, some other guests coming your way. We're going to recap the podcast, the reunion episode for Bachelor in Paradise. So all that and much, much more coming your way here on your favorite Bachelor podcast. For Jen and Gina, I'm Ryan. We'll see you next time on Play in the Field.